Hi, friends. Today I wanted to talk a little bit more about things that we can consider or include as we're forming our intention statements to help give them a little bit more power and help them feel like they're really aligning with things that are important to us. Intentions are really, I like to look at them as something that determine the energy or the quality of energy that we bring towards something. It's a determination to act in a certain way. It can kind of serve like a guidepost to help us know the way we want to be walking in the world. And they also seem to serve us the best and have the most positive effect if they are positively worded, meaning that we form the intention statement around what we want more of rather than something that we might want less of. For example, if we maybe there's something we have in mind for ourselves, like I want to scroll on my phone less, waste less time messing around on my phone. And so, an intention statement that's worded more positively might be something like, I am choosing to use my time in ways that fulfill and nurture me. So you can see how we took that not only into a positive space, but also elevated it a little bit to make it a little bit more broad. So that way there's still multiple ways to approach that intention and fulfill that aren't so specific that if we have a night scrolling through TikTok that we've abandoned everything and not honored our intention, but also we're looking toward what we want more of and what we would like to cultivate more of in our life. So rather than forming the intention statement around what we're trying to do less of, we would choose the language that tells us what we want more of. And to that end, we usually form them in the present tense because that also helps our brain soak in the goodness of recognizing it as something that we already are doing, even if we haven't started doing it yet. Little trick for our neurology there to help us build upon that. Another factor that's important to remember when you're finding an intention that you can really connect with is that they're not judgmental. We really want to take the judgment out of this. Connecting to your heart space and choosing something that really speaks to you can help with this. And it can help you decide on an intention that isn't based on living someone else's values. We really want to connect with what's speaking to us from that deeper inner wisdom. Because honestly, folks, I mean, we can all choose a million different intentions we want to walk through the world with. But unless it's actually something that connects with us at our core, we're probably not going to be as successful with that long term, or it's not maybe going to lead us to what we think it will. Whereas if we allow ourselves the space and the open, curious heart to listen to what it is that we truly want and need in our lives, those are the types of intentions that we can get so much out of and really follow through with. Those are the types of things that help us feel in alignment with our values and help create that sense of contentment, that calmness, that soothing way for our nervous system and our brain to recognize our being. Really powerful intentions are going to evoke a sense of meaning and purpose. They're things that you might even be questioning at first when it comes up for you, but you'll know you might have landed on something if it gives you a little spark, right? A little bit of energy that says, yes, this is something that is really calling to me right now and that I feel deeply connected to. Another thing that makes intentions really powerful is that they're values oriented and heart driven. So, really making sure that we're connecting to that deep inner wisdom and taking the time to recognize what's driving that for us and making sure it's really coming from us, right? something that really, truly you want to be doing, not something that you feel like is a should or a need to based on somebody else's expectations or just something that you've always done because that's what you were taught. Might be that you really find something deep in there that you'd like to explore and you don't really know where it's coming from. And so maybe the intention is to explore that and to open that and to sit with that with a nice open curious heart and mind. When it comes to writing your intention statements, there's also a few other things that we can consider to help customize it a little bit and make it feel like something that we can definitely try on for size and walk around in the world with and just see if it fits for us. It might have been a while since you've done some of the things that we worked on to help you decide what you want your intentions to be. So if that's true for you, just as a little refresher, some of the things that you might choose to look at or remind yourself with would be things like that the miracle day journal entry that we wrote for a year ahead. Might have some goodies in there. Another one might be the top values form that we completed and looking back through what you have on there, getting in touch with that, spending some time in reflection there. Another piece might be going back to the heart centered intention meditation that we did. And if you had any insights following that, you could also repeat that. There you have the resource to go back to that video on Insight Timer. And then the soul fuel. If you haven't looked at that for a minute, it might be nice to revisit that and see what you've got for your energy boosters and your joy list, and the things that help give you belly sparkles or help evoke those for you. Those are all nice things to be thinking about when you're forming an intention statement. You might also already have one that you've been working with, and that is great. This information might just be here to see if there's any tweaks that would feel good for you at this particular moment or help serve you the next time you're looking toward intentions and what you'd like to do to help right size that for yourself. Some of the things I like to encourage folks to consider when they're making an intention statement is to choose compassionate language for yourself, something that honors where you're at right now and where you want to be heading, and doing that in a way that feels manageable and feels true for you, because we really need to recognize this as a possible thing for ourselves in order to put it into action in terms of how it informs the way that we walk in the world. I also like to mention that it's important to account for your entire holistic self when you're forming an intention. It's always okay to have aspirational intentions as well, but when it comes to the ones that you really want to start putting into place for yourself, make sure you're considering the full picture of what makes you you right now in your life and the entire set of circumstances that is true for you in this moment. Keeping your intention worded and in the realm of possibility is a good thing to help you start to embody that and walk in the world with that. Here are some words that can help us right size these statements for ourselves. Sometimes if we think about working towards something, that can feel more manageable than if we were to state it like an absolute. For example, we might say something like, I'm enhancing mindfulness versus I am mindful. Do you hear the distinction there? I am enhancing mindfulness. Maybe it's something like, I am building resilience rather than I am resilient. Depending on the person, one or the other of those different versions of wording things might feel more authentic and more manageable, more accessible, if you will. And so that's what we're going for there, is to make it feel like it's a fit for you right now. And in that, we're honoring where we're at right now, as well as where we want to be heading. Here's some more examples in case that helps. I'm deepening authenticity versus I am authentic. I am moving towards self compassion versus I am self compassionate. There's no right or wrong here. Whatever you connect to is beautiful. These are just options that can help you make small adjustments to feel it more deeply for yourself or more authentically for yourself. Here's some other words. I've got a list here I'll read to you that might help when you're starting to create these statements: cultivating, creating, opening to, learning, practicing, noticing, acknowledging, seeking, and adapting to. Sure, there's a ton of others, but there's a nice little selection to help get you started thinking about ways you might modify the statement to make it feel like the best fit for you with where you are now in a way that still honors where you'd like to head. And on sort of the flip side of that, it's possible too that maybe you're already a rock star with whatever it is that you're focusing on for your intention. And so maybe you're looking to get even better at whatever that is. So for you, maybe there's words like mastering or refining or polishing that feel good to augment your intention statement in a way that feels good for you. I think that's all I've got today. I hope that kind of helps clarify a little bit more about what to do when you're forming that intention statement. So, we want to be pulling from the things that we use to help get in touch with what's meaningful for us, our values, our future vision of ourselves, the things that fuel our soul and help us feel more energized, more joyful, more sparkly, if you will. And also, we want to take into account what's true for us right now, what's true about all the different areas of our life holistically, and then form statements that feel like a good fit for us right now. Just like we might wear a different size in the winter than we do in the summer, it's okay for these to change and to shift and to need some adjustment along the way. And they might change entirely from season to season. In fact, they probably should. We should definitely check in with these according to, what's right for us to make sure that what we're trying to walk through the world as is a good fit for what we want. As always, if you have any questions or you have insights that you want to share with me, I would love to hear from you on that. And I look forward to speaking with you very soon. Bye, friends.